Chapter 6, 195, Dead Sandgull Egg. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. The light of the setting sun shone on Joshi Oasis. The lively atmosphere in normal times was replaced by thick smoke and fire today. There was nothing left of the former serenity. Buildings had collapsed, turning into piles of ruins. In these ruins on the streets, at the side of the lake, under the trees, pools of blood were connected, and corpses lined the ground. Fang Yuan went back to the clan head pavilion, standing on a pile of broken concrete. He placed the poison path, Immortal Goo Woman's heart, back into his immortal aperture. After killing for a long time, he had finally fed Woman's heart until it was full. Woman's heart combined refinement and nurturing. If he fed it any further, Woman's heart would enter the refinement stage. The more women's hearts it ate, the stronger the poison. But Fang Yuan had no intentions of refining the goo at this point. With his strength, slaying mortals was like slaughtering animals. But with so many mortals, he still spent half the day on this. Furthermore, Woman's heart was a consumable, immortal goo. No matter how strong it was, it would be gone after one use. The prospects of investing in it were not great unless Fang Yuan had the immortal goo recipe of Woman's heart. Standing on the rubble of the clan head pavilion, Fang Yuan activated several hundred goo worms in his immortal aperture, undergoing a thorough search of the area. After 2 breaths of time, Fang Yuan finally found an underground entrance. He walked towards the entrance. His huge feet treaded and destroyed the ground under him, exposing the entrance. This entrance could allow a normal person to enter, but it was too small for Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan used force to take apart this entrance. After several hundred steps, the space finally widened enough for Fang Yuan to walk while bending his waist. A large stone door appeared in front of Fang Yuan. On top of the door, there were words carved, "Important area of the clan treasury. People not specifically assigned are forbidden from entering." Fang Yuan snorted. He destroyed the stone door, and hundreds of golden light blades attacked Fang Yuan. A loud alarm rang. This was evidently the method of Lan Clan in defending against thieves. But it was a pity that not even a single spike on Fang Yuan's hair armor was destroyed. Fang Yuan entered the stone door, seeing a pile of primeval stones. Fang Yuan roughly estimated that there were at least 100,000 in total. If Fang Yuan was still immortal, these primeval stones would be a huge fortune. But now that he was an immortal with unlimited primeval essence, he had almost no need for primeval stones. But he still kept these primeval stones in his immortal aperture. It was simply a move done in passing. Soon he broke through a second stone door and entered. He saw a huge amount of goo refinement materials. They were classified and placed here. These were all ordinary materials. Although Fang Yuan also needed them, these materials were not in high quantity. When Fang Yuan truly wanted to refine something, he would need a vast amount of materials. He would still need to purchase in bulk from Goo Immortals. But this was better than nothing. Fang Yuan would not leave empty-handed. He sent it all into his immortal aperture. Next, beyond the 3rd, 4th, and 5th stone door, they all had goo refinement materials, except that they were of different varieties and had different storage conditions. Fang Yuan took all of these as well. At the 6th stone door, he found goo worms. Large numbers of mortal goo were stored here. This was Lan Clan's goo worm treasury, the foundation of their entire clan. Fang Yuan took them all away. With his abundant memories and great experience, he knew all of these goo worms. They were not necessary for him. But to mortal goo masters, these were all precious goo worms, including rank 4 and 5 goo worms among them. Getting one could change a person's life. Their entire future might turn around. Like the liquor worm that Fang Yuan obtained on Qingmao Mountain, the Bone Flesh Unity Goo on Baigu Mountain, and the all-out effort goo in Shangclan City. There were 3 goo worm treasuries and 5 primeval stone treasuries. Other than that, there were treasuries hidden within treasuries, secret troves that did not escape Fang Yuan's detection. Some troves were ravaged. There were goo master corpses here and traces of fighting. Evidently, when Fang Yuan was slaughtering the mortals, some greedy goo masters knew that the clan was finished and barged in here, trying to take whatever resources they could. They fought here, and took the treasures they could find, while a portion of people died from the goo worms defending the troves. Fang Yuan walked past these troves, along the main path deep underground. Along the way, he saw more and more corpses of Goo Master, and there were also sand gull corpses. These sand gulls were like a combination of seagulls and ostriches. They had large legs with huge muscles, but they also had huge wings and could fly in the sky. Sand gulls could run rapidly in the desert, while also flying in the sky and carrying people. They only ate grass and drank clean water. They were easy to feed. With a mild temperament, they were the most common steed among Western Desert Goo Masters. The only problem was, sand gulls had very low fertility. 3 to 4 out of 10 sand gull eggs would usually hatch and grow into healthy sand gulls. However, this Lan clan raised many sand gulls, much more than other forces of the same level. When Fang Yuan slaughtered the clan, he killed many sand gulls. He estimated that Lan clan might have some secret technique to raise the fertility of the sand gulls. If so, that would be the only thing in this entire Lan clan that could somewhat interest Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan walked for another few thousand steps. He saw more Goo Master corpses. Finally, at one point, he saw a large number of Goo Master corpses and sand gull corpses. It seems that the people who came in here met with the sand gull's obstruction. They all perished here. They took a risk to enter here. Quite evidently, there is a huge benefit attracting them. Fang Yuan analyzed. Squawk, squawk, squawk. After another few hundred steps, Fang Yuan was attacked by a wave of sand gulls. There were 100 sand gulls. Among them, the sand gull 100 Beast King was injured, likely due to the fight with Goo Masters earlier. But how could this trifling beast group be Fang Yuan's match? In just a few breaths of time, Fang Yuan killed these sand gulls and continued moving forward. The path was moving downwards. The depth was rather surprising to Fang Yuan. After getting rid of 10 waves of attacks from sand gulls, Fang Yuan walked out of the tunnel. His field of vision widened as he entered a huge underground cave. This cave was quite big. It was like a square. There was a huge stone table at the center of the cave. There was a huge egg on the table. It was the size of a house. It had a yellow luster, but it was already quite dim. There was a thick layer of yellow sand around the table. The sand was extremely soft and slightly warm. It felt like cotton when one stepped on it. Many eggs were placed on this sand, slightly buried into them. These eggs were of varying sizes. There were even some broken eggshells there. These eggs are all sand gull eggs. This is the breeding ground for Lan Clan's sand gulls. Fang Yuan walked into the cave. To protect their home and eggs, a large number of sand gulls rose up and charged towards Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan was unmoved. He waved a hand, and a large number of wind blades cut these sand gulls like harvesting crops. With another burst of frost, half of these sand gull were frozen. There were very few sand gulls that survived. They no longer had their previous numbers. So their aura diminished, and they started escaping in fear. Fang Yuan had no interest in killing them all. The closer he got to the table, the more his gaze was attracted to the huge egg on the table. He showed some joy on his face. This egg, is it the egg of a worldly sand gull? Fang Yuan stopped atop the stone table and came in front of the huge egg. He touched the shell filled with cracks. There were several small holes on it, as transparent egg white flowed out of the cracks slowly. The egg white fell onto the stone table, following the crevices on the table as it flowed down into the yellow sand. This was an egg of the ancient desolate beast Whirly Sand Gull. The life inside had perished in the egg. Even the egg white was leaking. This was obviously a dead egg. Sand gulls had low fertility. Whirly sand gulls, which were of the same breed, had even lower rates. But it was the life essence of an ancient, desolate beast after all. Even using the egg white so superficially could greatly raise the fertility of these sand gulls. Fang Yuan did not obtain the fertility method he had been guessing. He actually obtained a dead egg of an ancient, desolate bird instead. This was an unpleasant surprise. As expected, after using Connect Luck, I encountered something good. After slaughtering a small to mid-sized clan, I actually obtained something useful to me. Fang Yuan sighed in his heart. His Connect Luck immortal goo needed the sand of the resting area of the ancient, desolate beast, worldly sand gull, as food. This sand was known as sand gull soil. It was a special resource formed from ordinary soil due to the worldly sand gull's influence. Originally, if Fang Yuan wanted to obtain the sand, he would need to buy it from others, or find a worldly sand gull nest and take a huge risk to sneak in and steal the sand gull soil. But now that he had a dead egg of the worldly sand gull, he could use the life essence in this egg to turn ordinary sand into sand gull soil. I need 5,000 kilograms of sand gull soil to feed the Connect Luck immortal goo. There is ample life essence in this egg. It should be enough. Even if it is not enough, it will tide me through this tough time. I do not need to feed the Connect Luck immortal goo until it is full, as long as it is not starving. That will do. After all, for the foreseeable future, there are no suitable targets. Connect Luck. Immortal goo is unusable anyway. Feeling joyous, Fang Yuan took this dead egg. After returning to Hu Immortal Blessed Land, he started his preparations. He was a Blood Path Grandmaster in his previous life. Now he had also become a Strength Path Grandmaster. These two paths both involved life and vitality. He quickly had an idea using 600 mortal goo to create a goo formation, extracting the life essence of this dead egg, forming a lot of vital energy. Fang Yuan modified this method with the help of wisdom goo, condensing the vital energy into a light yellow juice. Ordinary sand had turned into sand gull soil after a day and a night in this juice. 3 days later, Fang Yuan obtained enough sand gull soil to feed Connect Luck immortal goo till it was full. Therefore, the cleansed soul. Immortal goo in his hands was the only one he had an issue in feeding. To feed cleansed soul, immortal goo, he needed the flesh of 10,000 white lotus giant silkworm goo, but the white lotus giant silkworm goo was very rare. 100,000 years ago, during the late antiquity era, soul path flourished, and this goo worm had once been very popular. Unfortunately, at this point, there were already very few white lotus giant silkworm goo in Treasure Yellow Heaven. Fang Yuan used the name of the 8-arm immortal to request for this goo worm and its recipe, but no one had answered him.